My family is the center of my life, and when I think about my days, I often think about them first, because they are always there in my thoughts, in my plans, and in my heart, and even when I am busy or tired, the idea of my family gives me a calm feeling and a quiet strength. I live with my family in a simple home, and our home is not very big, but it feels warm and safe, and every room has small signs of our daily life together. In the morning, when I wake up, I usually hear soft sounds from the kitchen, and those sounds tell me that someone in my family is already awake and starting the day. Sometimes it is my mother, moving slowly and carefully, preparing breakfast with patience and care, and sometimes it is my father, making tea or coffee before work, moving in a quiet and steady way. These small sounds are familiar to me, and they make me feel relaxed, because they mean that everything is normal and peaceful. My parents are very important people in my life, and I often think about how much they have done for me and for our family over the years. My father is a calm and thoughtful person, and he speaks in a gentle voice most of the time, even when he is tired after a long day of work. He likes to wake up early, and he enjoys quiet moments in the morning, when the house is still and the air feels fresh. He often sits near the window, looking outside, and thinking about the day ahead. My mother is warm and caring, and she always knows what each person in the family needs. She remembers small details, like what food we like, or how we feel when we are sick or sad. She often smiles when she talks, and her smile makes the room feel brighter and more comfortable. I also have brothers and sisters, and growing up with them has been a big part of my life and my memories. When we were younger, we spent a lot of time together at home, playing simple games, talking about school, and sometimes arguing about small things. These arguments never lasted very long, because we learned how to forgive and move on, and we learned how to understand each other better over time. My siblings and I share many memories, like watching TV together in the evening, sitting close on the sofa, or helping each other with homework at the table. Even now, when we are older, we still talk about those times, and we laugh about how small and simple our worries were back then. Our family meals are very important moments in our daily life, and we try to eat together whenever we can. At the table, we talk about our day, about work, school, plans, and sometimes about nothing special at all. The conversation is often slow and relaxed, and everyone has a chance to speak and to listen. These meals help us stay connected, and they remind us that we are not alone in our daily struggles or joys. Even when someone has a bad day, sitting together and sharing a meal can make things feel a little easier and lighter. On weekends, my family usually spends more time together, and these days feel different from weekdays. We wake up later, move more slowly, and enjoy the time without rushing. Sometimes we clean the house together, and even this simple activity becomes a shared experience, with quiet talk, soft laughter, and a feeling of teamwork. Other times, we go out for a walk, or visit relatives, or just stay at home and rest. These quiet weekends help us recover from the busy week, and they give us space to talk more deeply and to listen more carefully to each other. I often think about how my family has changed over time, and how we have grown together. When I was a child, I depended on my parents for everything, and they guided me with patience and love. As I grew older, I started to understand them better, not just as parents, but as people with their own dreams, worries, and hopes. Now, our relationship feels more balanced, and there is more sharing and mutual support. We still care for each other deeply, but in a way that respects each person's independence and choices. Family traditions are another important part of our life together, and these traditions give us a sense of continuity and belonging. Some traditions are small and simple, like having a special meal on certain days, or watching a favorite program together at a certain time. Other traditions are connected to holidays or family events, and they bring everyone together in a special way. These moments help us remember who we are and where we come from, and they give us stories to tell and memories to keep. When problems appear, as they do in every family, we try to face them together. Sometimes there are misunderstandings, or moments of stress, or times when someone feels hurt or unhappy. In these moments, communication becomes very important, and we try to speak honestly but kindly. We try to listen, even when it is difficult, and we try to find solutions that respect everyone's feelings. This is not always easy, and we do not always succeed right away, but the effort itself shows our care and commitment to each other. I feel that my family has taught me many important lessons in life, not through long talks or strict rules, but through daily actions and simple examples. I learned the value of patience by watching my parents handle challenges calmly. I learned the importance of kindness by seeing how they treat others with respect. I learned about responsibility by being part of a household where everyone has a role and a duty, even if it is small. These lessons stay with me, and they guide me in my own life outside the family. As time goes on, our lives become busier, and sometimes it is harder to spend as much time together as before. Work, study, and personal responsibilities can take us in different directions, and there are days when we only see each other briefly. Still, the connection remains strong, and even short moments together can feel meaningful. A quick conversation in the morning, a message during the day, or a quiet moment in the evening can remind us that we are still part of the same family, sharing the same bond. I also think about the future of my family, and how it will continue to change. New experiences, new challenges, and new stages of life will come, and we will have to adapt together. Some members may move away, start new lives, or face new responsibilities, but the idea of family will remain a constant part of who we are. No matter where we are or what we are doing, the feeling of being connected will stay with us. When I feel tired or uncertain, thinking about my family gives me comfort and confidence. It reminds me that I have a place where I belong, and people who care about me, even when things are not perfect. This sense of belonging is quiet but strong, and it supports me in ways that are sometimes hard to explain. My family is not perfect, but it is real, and it is full of care, effort, and shared life. I often notice small moments that show the love in my family, like a simple question about my day, a gentle reminder to rest, or a shared smile without words. These moments may seem ordinary, but they build the foundation of our relationship, day by day. Over time, they create a deep sense of trust and understanding that cannot be replaced by anything else. As I continue my life, my family remains a part of my story, shaping my thoughts, my values, and my way of seeing the world. Wherever I go, the lessons, memories, and feelings from my family go with me, quietly influencing my choices and actions. This connection does not need to be loud or dramatic to be strong. It exists in the background of my life, steady and reliable, like a soft voice that reminds me who I am and where I come from. And when I think more deeply about my family, I realize that many of my habits and feelings come from living with them for so many years, because daily life shared with others slowly shapes who we become. In the quiet moments of the evening, when the house feels calm and the noise of the day has faded, I often hear soft movements from other rooms, and these sounds remind me that my family is near. Someone may be reading, someone may be resting, and someone may be thinking about the next day, and all of us are sharing the same space and the same time in our own gentle way. This feeling is simple, but it brings peace to my mind. My parents often talk about their own families when they were young, and I listen carefully, because their stories help me understand our family better. They speak about their parents, their brothers and sisters, and the way life was different in the past. Sometimes they smile when they remember happy moments, and sometimes their voices become softer when they talk about difficult times. These stories teach me that family life is not always easy, but it is always meaningful, and every generation carries something forward to the next. In my family, we try to support each other not only in big moments, but also in small daily situations. If someone feels tired, others try to help without being asked. If someone feels sad, there is often a quiet presence nearby, even if no words are spoken. This kind of support does not always need clear actions or strong emotions. Sometimes it is just about being there and sharing the same space, and that is enough to make things feel lighter. I notice that my family communicates in many different ways, not only through words. A look, a gesture, or a simple action can say a lot. Over time, we have learned to understand each other without long explanations. This understanding grows slowly, through shared experiences and repeated moments, and it becomes a natural part of our daily life. It helps us avoid many conflicts, and it helps us feel closer, even when we are busy. There are evenings when we sit together and talk about memories from the past, and these conversations often move slowly and gently. Someone remembers a small event, and another person adds a detail, and soon a simple memory becomes a shared story again. These moments help us feel connected to our past, and they remind us how much we have lived through together. Even ordinary memories, like a simple meal or a quiet afternoon, can feel special when we remember them as a family. Sometimes, my family also talks about dreams and hopes for the future. These conversations are calm and open, and everyone listens with interest and respect. We do not always agree, and our dreams may be different, but there is a feeling of encouragement in the way we speak. Knowing that my family believes in me gives me confidence, and it makes it easier to face uncertainty and change. As life continues, I understand more clearly that family is not only about living together, but also about caring for each other over time. Even when we are not in the same place, the connection remains strong. A simple message, a short call, or a remembered habit can bring the feeling of family back into my day. This connection feels steady and reliable, like something that does not disappear, even when life changes. I also learn from my family how to be patient with others, because living closely with people teaches you to accept differences. Everyone in my family has their own personality, their own pace, and their own way of thinking. Sometimes these differences create tension, but they also teach understanding and respect. Over time, I have learned that accepting others as they are is an important part of living peacefully together. My family home holds many quiet moments that may seem unimportant from the outside, but they mean a lot to me. The way light enters the rooms at certain times of day, the familiar arrangement of furniture, and the small objects we have collected over the years all tell a story. These details create a sense of continuity and comfort, and they remind me that home is not only a place, but also a feeling built through shared life. When I think about my family at the end of the day, I often feel grateful. Not because everything is perfect, but because there is effort, care, and understanding. This gratitude grows stronger as I become more aware of how important these relationships are. Family life teaches patience, empathy, and responsibility in a natural way, through daily actions rather than lessons. Even as I move forward in my own life, the influence of my family stays with me quietly. The values I learned, the habits I formed, and the emotional support I received continue to shape my choices and reactions. In moments of doubt, I often remember conversations or actions from my family, and these memories help guide me toward calmer and kinder responses. My family is a constant presence in my life, not always in a visible way, but always in a meaningful one. Through ordinary days and important moments, through silence and conversation, through challenges and calm times, we continue to share life together. This shared life moves slowly, step by step, creating a deep and lasting bond that grows with time and experience, and this bond remains a steady and quiet strength in everything I do. And as days pass, I notice how the rhythm of my family life follows a gentle pattern that repeats itself in small ways, and this repetition creates a sense of safety and balance. In the morning, there is often a quiet exchange of greetings, sometimes only a few words, but those words carry warmth and familiarity. In the evening, there is a sense of returning, of coming back to a shared space after being apart during the day. This daily movement, going out and coming back, is simple, yet it holds the family together. I think about how my family reacts to change, because change is always a part of life. When something new happens, we may feel unsure at first, but we talk about it, think about it, and slowly adjust together. Change can bring worry, but it can also bring growth, and facing it as a family makes it feel less heavy. Knowing that we do not face things alone helps us stay calm and patient, even when the future is not clear. There are moments when my family sits in silence together, and these moments feel just as meaningful as moments filled with conversation. Silence does not feel empty in our home. It feels shared and comfortable. Sitting in the same room, doing different things, creates a quiet connection that does not need words. This kind of togetherness feels gentle and steady, like a soft background sound that is always there. I often think about how my family celebrates small successes, because these moments show our care and support. When someone finishes a task, reaches a goal, or simply gets through a difficult day, others notice and respond with encouragement. The celebration may be as simple as a smile, a kind word, or a shared meal, but it carries meaning. These small acknowledgments help everyone feel seen and valued. When difficulties appear, my family tries to slow down and understand the situation instead of reacting too quickly. This does not mean that emotions never rise, but it means that we try to return to calm after those moments. Over time, we have learned that staying connected is more important than winning an argument or proving a point. This understanding grows with experience, and it helps keep relationships strong. I notice that my family has its own way of expressing care, and this way may look quiet from the outside. Care is shown through actions, through consistency, and through being present. It is shown in daily routines, in shared responsibilities, and in small acts that may not be noticed right away. This steady care creates a feeling of trust that builds slowly over time. As I grow older, I become more aware of how my family members support each other emotionally. Sometimes this support comes in the form of advice, and sometimes it comes in the form of listening. Knowing when to speak and when to stay quiet is something we continue to learn. This balance helps us respect each other's feelings and space. I also think about how my family handles memories, both happy and sad. We keep them gently, without letting them control our present. Happy memories bring smiles and warmth, while difficult memories bring understanding and compassion. Together, they form a shared history that connects us deeply. Remembering together helps us understand each other better and strengthens our bond. The idea of family responsibility becomes clearer to me with time. It is not only about taking care of practical needs, but also about emotional presence. Being available, being reliable, and being honest are all parts of this responsibility. My family teaches these values through daily behavior rather than words, and this makes the lessons feel natural and lasting. There are times when my family feels like a quiet shelter from the outside world. When life feels busy or stressful, returning home brings a sense of relief. The familiar environment, the known faces, and the predictable routines help calm the mind. This feeling does not remove problems, but it makes them easier to face. I notice that my family respects personal space as much as shared time. We understand that everyone needs moments alone, and we try to give that space without feeling distant. This balance between togetherness and independence helps everyone feel comfortable and respected. It also allows relationships to grow in a healthy way. As days turn into weeks and months, my family life continues in this gentle rhythm. There are no dramatic changes most of the time, only small shifts and gradual growth. Through shared meals, quiet evenings, simple conversations, and silent understanding, the bond remains strong. This steady presence shapes my sense of security and belonging. In the background of my daily life, my family remains a constant source of calm and meaning. Even when we are busy or tired, even when we do not say much, the connection stays alive. It is built through time, patience, and shared experience, and it continues to grow quietly, supporting each of us as we move forward in our own lives.